My wife and I got saved in 1995, and it wasn't long after that we started to go to a jail ministry in Chicago, and we would go to this place, and it was like Cook County Jail is the biggest jail in the country, 10,000 inmates. And the very first time we went there, we noticed that like 40% of the people there were Hispanic, and we go in there with like a couple hundred counselors, and and yet there was only just a couple, two or three of the counselors that could speak Spanish and share the gospel effectively with these guys. And so it wasn't long after that I began to get a burden for that, and so I began to try to use these evangelistic tracts in Spanish. I didn't speak Spanish, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try to use these and help those guys, because they don't have the opportunity to hear like the rest of the English speakers do. And the next time I went back, I was out in Yard 5. This Mexican guy by the name of Jose Vidal, he accepted Christ by reading this tract with me. And like right then, I knew what God was calling me to do. I knew what I wanted to do. Within just a couple of years, this dream was birthed to begin planting Spanish churches here in northern Indiana. We end up talking to a guy that came to our church one day, and we shared with him the vision of what God was laying on our hearts. And he looked at me, and he said, we explained to him, we don't know what to do next. And he looked at me and he said, well, I know exactly what you need to do. You need to go to Argentina and learn Spanish. And so literally our next question was, where's Argentina? 13 weeks later, we were on a plane with our kids heading to Argentina for a year. And we learned Spanish down there and some church planting skills. And we came back in 2003. We planted our first Spanish church and pastored it till 2015, until we turned it over to the Hispanic leadership, and it now runs totally on its own. And now we find ourselves in the middle of this new calling where God is beginning to lay on our hearts kind of the second step of that ministry to be able to plant more churches, because the need's so great. The population in Indiana, the Hispanic population in the last 10 years has grown by 42%. And so now we feel this great need, and we begin to pray that the Lord would bring us Latin men that we can help prepare to be pastors and help them plant churches and get plant churches started and send them off as the long-term shepherds of those new groups. And it's a big vision. It's a great vision, but we can't do it alone. We're looking for people who would be willing to commit to once a week, once a month, and once a year. Once a week, pick one day a week and be able to pray for Brian and Tammy and the pastors and churches we're hoping to raise up and plant. One time a month, be able to give financially, give what Lord will lay on your heart. And one time a year, for those who are able and who would want to, come and serve alongside of us and get to know these people. We're going to provide some meaningful opportunities to meet some of these people, since this ministry is largely right here in northern Indiana. We'd love to talk to you more about that if you're interested at all, or you'd like to pray about it. So thank you, and God bless you.